Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is LC with Loyal Crypto. Thanks for joining me today. Now today I have a special project for you, and the project name is Solana. Now Solana is a special use case. Just how we have Bitcoin with proof of work and Ethereum with proof of stake, Solana is now creating an ecosystem that uses proof of history. Now this is definitely an interesting play on what you want to use to actually hedge your bet against Ethereum. Who's going to be the winner in the end? Is it going to be Ethereum? Is it going to be Solana? Is it going to be BNB? We don't know. But this proof of history thing, man, I think it's something we should take a look at. Let's dive in.
So today we have a special project. I've been meaning to get to this for some time now, and it is called Solana, and the ticker is SOL, which is Sol. The price today is $30.94, and that is up 25.5% after this huge dip that we received in the market. And this thing has a current market cap of 8.4 billion with a max supply of 488 million, and circulating supply currently is 272 million. Now Solana is ranked 19th, and it is actually a smart contract platform, and that's basically competing with an Ethereum. And I feel like Solana has a great play in the market because they have these fast transaction times, and they're doing it in a special way that isn't proof of work and it isn't proof of stake. So I definitely want to take you into the website and let you guys know more about this project. So as you can see, currently the market cap is 1.6 trillion with BTC dominance at 42.6% and ETH is at 17.8%. So we're doing a nice little recovery so far after the huge dip and the market correction that we had this May. And let me just go out to 30 days here. You see we had an all-time high of around $58, and we took this huge dip going down to a local low of around $21.38, and we made a nice bounce here, and I'll let you guys know more about that when I get to the charts. But before the huge dip, as you can see, Solana's price has been very steady, so this seemed like a great project that was looking to explode. As you can see, we made this huge move here after it's been very steady. So I feel like if the market wasn't dipping, this thing was going to go to a next leg up. Okay, let's dive into the website and I'll show you a little bit more about what Solana is doing. Okay, so Solana, build your crypto apps that scale. So Solana is a fast, secure, and censorship-resistant blockchain providing the open infrastructure required for global adoption. Now, if you scroll down, you can see that they're boasting about how fast this network is, and you can click on their video here and they'll let you know just how fast they are, and it has very low fees. You already know the Loyal Crypto community. We love low fees because that is not cutting into our profits. Now, this has been backed by CoinDesk, TC, The Block, and Decrypt. So you can see they have some huge partnerships. If we go down here, join the fastest growing ecosystem in crypto, the best projects in DeFi, Web3, and blockchain gaming. Choose to build on Solana for the long term. And just to name a few, we have Terra, Audius, Tether, Chainlink, and Akash. So man, you can click in here and you can view all the great partnerships that they have, people that want to work with Solana. And I feel like this is going to have a great future because a lot of people want to hedge their bets against Ethereum. Now, try to break Solana. They actually welcome you to try to stress test this thing because they're that confident in their network, okay? So Solana can process 50K transactions per second. Don't believe us? Stress test the network to experience Solana's speed for yourself. So I love a project that has this much confidence, and they're welcoming the whole crypto space to actually try to break their network, because if they feel like you can actually break their network, they're going to become even better because they're going to build on top of that if you can even do it, okay? So build the next decentralized marketplace, payments network, what we got next, exchange. So you can actually do anything that developers are actually trying to do with Ethereum. They're building all these different type of plays like NFTs, DeFi, and everything on Ethereum. You can now bring that over to Solana. So I feel like even if you're still bullish on Ethereum like I am, I want to hedge my bet because I don't know who's going to win in the end. Now, Ethereum, I do feel like it can possibly flip Bitcoin when it's all said and done, but we also want to see who's going to have that second place running, who's going to have that third place running, okay? So it's not going to be one clear winner. I think there's going to be a way for a lot of these networks to basically all live together in the future of cryptocurrency. So say goodbye to high fees and slow confirmation. Solana is built for speed without trade-offs. So it's scalable. Solana leverages proof of history, and proof of history, I'm going to touch on that in just a second. I feel like this is definitely a good way to hedge against proof of work and proof of stake. So proof of history and several other breakthrough innovations to allow the network to scale at the rate of Moore's law. Now, low cost. Never worry about the rising fees as your user base grows. Solana is designed to keep fees low for applications with billions of users, and it's composable. Solana's single global state ensures composability between projects. Never deal with multiple shards or layer 2 systems. And that is something that we're seeing right now on Ethereum. We're trying to find out who the top layer 2 solution is going to be to help the Ethereum network grow. Right now, Matic is, I would say, number one. I've been getting a lot of gains in Matic, and I love Matic, but they're basically saying they don't even need a layer 2 solution. So this is something that you definitely want to take a look at. Now, the Solana community welcomes you. There are many ways to contribute to Solana's ecosystem: build an app, organize an event, or create educational resources to help others learn. So they're definitely growing their community, and as you can see, they have a lot of partnerships and a lot of people that's working with Solana, because they're also hedging their bets to see if Solana is going to be the one that's going to be victorious when it's all said and done. So if I click over here to community, you can look at their Discord, their blog, and their podcast. I'm gonna go over to ecosystem. Now, serious builders choose Solana for millions of users. And just look at here. If I scroll down, you can see all the apps and developers that are building with Solana. Okay, I mean, I can't even touch on all this. This is too much for one video. I think you guys just need to dive in here and look for yourself and see the huge ecosystem that Solana is building already. And I feel like this is going to be one of the winners in this 2021 bull run. So you guys take a look at that in a second. But let me get over to developers. Now focus on your business, not your blockchain infrastructure. Solana's blazing speed and low fees scale as the ecosystem grows without sacrificing censorship, resistance, or security. So they're actually taking that one thing out that you shouldn't have to worry about, which is security, scalability, and how bogged down your network may be. And you don't want to have to worry about latency as a developer. You just want to focus on your business growing and being good for a customer experience. Solana is basically saying they're going to take that pressure and that trouble away from you so you can focus on what you do best. Now you can actually apply for funding with Solana, so get funding, technical support, and resources to boost your project at warp speed. They encourage you to build on their network, so definitely take a look at this if you are a developer. And it also has here, never deal with sharding or layer 2. Solana ensures composability between ecosystem projects by maintaining a single global state as the network scales. And this is something that cryptocurrency has been having problems with. So if they actually solve this problem, man, I think Solana needs to be in a lot of our portfolios. So you have here the 8 core initiatives, and it enables your business to scale to billions of users and devices around the world. So don't choose between scale, security, and decentralization. Solana has solved the trilemma for you. No sharding required. Here's how. And here's what I'm going to touch on is proof of history. Okay, so let's click on that now. As you can see here, as we know, proof of work has been the number one way that we got into cryptocurrency, and that is with our champion, Bitcoin. So Bitcoin uses proof of work, and then Ethereum is going into proof of stake, and now we have something called proof of history. So as you can see, it seems like as the snowball starts to roll and a lot of adoption is starting to pick up with cryptocurrency, a lot of people are finding new ways to make this thing even faster and a greater user experience as we have more adopters come into this ecosystem. So proof of history, a clock for blockchain. One of the most difficult problems in distributed systems is agreement on time. Google's Spanner uses synchronized atomic clocks between its data centers. Google's engineers synchronize these clocks to a very high precision and consistently maintain them. Now let me just scroll down here and it says proof of history. What if instead of trusting the timestamp, you could prove that the message occurred sometime before and after an event? When you take a photograph with the cover of New York Times, you are creating a proof that the photograph was taken after that newspaper was published, or you have some way to influence what New York Times publishes. With proof of history, you can create a historical record that proves that an event occurred at a specific moment in time. So this is great innovation that I'm seeing right now. So let me read on a little more. Proof of history timestamps. The proof of history is a verifiable delay function. Our specific implementation uses a sequential pre-image resistant hash that runs over itself continuously with the previous output that used as the next input. Periodically, the count and the current output are recorded. Now, I definitely want you guys to dive in here and see everything that they have going on, because this is something that is actually going to change the way that a lot of people are going to want to build. So if they find out that proof of history is actually better than proof of stake, then this is something that you guys want to look at, because a lot of developers are going to start to build their applications on things such as proof of history. And who better than Solana? Okay, so I have Solana here pulled up on a 2-hour chart on TradingView, and as you can see, we had the red week and we look like we did a nice little bounce here. I'm not gonna say that we're fully recovered. I think this was a nice correction in May, and it scared a lot of people. It shook out some weak hands. I'm sorry if you guys sold at the bottom, but I feel like cryptocurrency is going to continue to keep building, and I feel like we're just going to start to enter altcoin season months in these next 3 months over the course of the summer. Now, what a lot of people are saying currently in the community, they don't know if it's going to continue to keep going down a little further. Me personally, I'm going to look to see where some resistance levels are going to break to see if we're now stabilizing. So in order for me to show you that, let me look at the total 2 chart here. And the total 2 chart is basically showing all cryptocurrencies outside of Bitcoin. And what you can see here on the 2-hour chart is it looked like it's coming and closing over our 50 EMA. So the 50 EMA is what I use as our baseline. And right here, it looked like it has a lot of candles now. What we have 1, 2, 3, 4 candles that has currently closed over our 50 EMA. The next level I wanted to see was this resistance. So this zone here was a key resistance that I felt like we needed to break and close over, and we have done that. So as you can see, I had this level here showing some resistance, and it looks like we're now broken over that. I want to see if it can now stabilize. So we're broken above it, and if we can start to stabilize on top of this resistance line, I feel like that's going to build up enough momentum for us to continue to move higher. The next level of resistance on the total 2, I'm looking at a region here between this region, and I feel like that's going to be 944 billion up to 1.05 trillion. So if we start to come up in this region and start to gain some support before we break above, that's going to show a strong sign that we're ready to continue the bull run. And it has now sold off to a nice key metric that shows, okay, we shaking out weak hands. They hit enough people with leverage to make sure that we're not inflating the market, and we can continue to new heights. All right, so once we start to level off and break past these levels, I feel like the rest of altcoins are going to start to hit their next new heights and their next new all-time highs. Now let me get back to Solana and look at the chart. So after that total 2 reading, you can see here that we have not yet broken above the 50 EMA on our 2-hour for Solana, but this can still be a nice buying opportunity. So let me look at the indicators really quickly. What I see here on our trend indicator, we had hit oversold regions, and this was that huge buying opportunity there around what, $19 to $21. If you guys bought in, congratulations. Like I said, I always want to see where we can possibly start to stabilize. So if we start to go down a little bit, I want to see a double bottom. I'm not sure if it's going to go down this far or this far, but what I want to see is if we do start to dip again, I want to have, let me get in a little closer here. I want to have something that's going to show that we're now creating a double bottom, showing that we're going to make a higher low. So wherever that dip takes place, I feel like that's going to be a good buying opportunity to show we are now stabilized and it tested to see if we're going to hold our strength and we can continue upward. Now let me get back to that trend indicator. We're also seeing here that with our trend indicator, let me try to move it up some. it looks like we have now went back above our zero line, so that is very, very bullish for me. We have a key metric hitting oversold. That means it has a lot more room to grow in our range before we hit a overbought region. So if it starts to now stabilize on top of the zero line, that's showing very bullish, and we can continue to go higher before we even hit oversold regions. Now let me look at our stochastics RSI. Our stochastics RSI, let me throw a 50 line on there. Okay, so with this 50 line, it's showing me that we're now showing a great impulse to move to the upside, because it has now did all these moves that cannot break past our 50. So that was key to show that we were still in a dip and we were still in a short-term bearish trend. Now that we've broken above the 50, that is showing very bullish to me. If it makes some dips here or even taps that 50 and continues to go upward before we go back down, because it's gonna show us more signals with the stochastics RSI, but if it shows some nice momentum and some nice dips here above the 50, I feel like this is just going to show that we have a huge impulse for the market to continue green. Okay, now let me give you my price prediction, because I am very, very bullish on Solana. Okay, so just zooming out here, let me get some of these lines out the way. So if we are using this dip to show that the bleeding is now done and we're continuing on to altcoin season going into the summer, I feel like we can have this be our beginning point, this be our swing high, and I'm gonna have our swing low right there, because that was a very, very steep move. And I feel like people that were in Solana, I hope you guys didn't sell, because you were very bullish and you had some strong hands, and it looked like this thing has went down 67%. So 67%, if you were strong enough to hold and think that Solana is the future, kudos to you. If you even bought on this dip and you're now seeing that we have made what is this? We have now made a 64% move upward from this dip. Kudos to you again. And I feel like Solana is going to have a very, very bright future. And showing this level here at our 1.272, which is going to be my first price target, I think Solana is going to have a price of $77.15 as our first price target. And the next one here is going to be our 1.618 at $92. So this is going to be the near term. Once we show that we are now back in a bullish market, altcoin season is still upon us, I feel like it can hit the 1.272 mark or the 1.618 mark. Okay, so what I typically do is throw up a golden box here. That is a red box. Let me switch that to gold. This gold box here is going to show it can hit anywhere in this region. It can, okay, make some waves up and hit this 1.27 and then take a dip. It doesn't mean that it can't continue to go higher and make that 1.618 mark before it takes another sell-off, okay? Wherever it hits somewhere in this region, it can either go straight to the 1.272 or to the 1.618 or hit somewhere in this region. I feel like it's gonna do that before it takes its next dip so we can go to new heights. And the next height I feel like is going to touch after that is $110, and the next level is going to be our 2.618, which is $138. So I feel like we could hit $138 by the end of this 2021 bull run. But again, the short-term price targets is going to be the $77 mark or a $92 mark. The longer-term price targets, because we're going to take some dips. Nothing ever goes in a straight line. We're definitely going to take some dips. This is not financial advice. This is just what I feel like we're going to hit by the end of this bull cycle is $138 with this huge innovative project.
Okay, so if you enjoy content like this, please like, subscribe, and share. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about Solana. And of course, I'm going to keep coming to you with altcoin gems. And if you need special assistance with your portfolio, I know we had a huge sell-off this past week. A lot of people out there running scared. I actually have consulting services for crypto. You can reach out to me at lawcrypto13@gmail.com. I can lend that service to you because, like I said, my YouTube comment's been going crazy. So now I'm going to bring this to my YouTube channel and help you guys out. I'm going to keep trying to find ways for us to make money in this space. And until next time, one.